So, chapter review, right? So everyone has been asking me, Cycles, why are you not reviewing these chapters? And I'm thinking, here is my answer. Okay, so the previous amount of chapters were really, really boring, and I really could predict the ending, right? The outcome. So please don't blame me if I found it really, really boring. Shojoji, I was really interested in what he was going to do with the whole cannibalism thing. I thought, you know what, that is really dark. So, you know, after a period of time, they are going to enter some kind of dark age where, you know, we start seeing dark shit that makes the show interesting. But, you know, the more darker it is does not necessarily mean it's going to be good, right? So I was really interested in the whole cannibalism thing and where it comes from and its origin. Maybe there's like a tribe somewhere out there, you know, in the ninja world where there are cannibals. You never know. These kinds of things are interesting. Where is culture within the Naruto world? You know what I'm saying? And that would be really, really interesting if Boruto would actually go outside and investigate. But no, they decide to keep him in boring ass Konoha, which we know everything about. So now the next thing is the new Kara arc. Okay, let me first tell you this, right? The original Akatsuki, right, were really, really boring characters. It's like, okay, we joined this group because why? I think they gave us reasons, but because the reasons were so bland and boring, I barely remember them, you know what I'm saying? And I keep track of a lot of things that happen within Boruto and Naruto, and the fact that I could not remember that, you know, it proves that it's just really, really weak. I mean, I did ask in my 6 things I do not want to see in Boruto, in which you should check out, of course, because I made, you know, I spent a lot of time creating that video. But in that video, I said, okay, so I don't want to see another Akatsuki, or at least I don't want to see villains with, you know, just stereotypical goals of taking over the world and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, we cannot even remember what these people were, you know, there for in the first place, except for being henchmen. And I asked, my question was, what did they actually do? Why were they important? And then someone said, oh wait, they actually joined the Akatsuki to get protection from their villages which they abandoned. So it's like, okay, so you join a group which sends you out on suicide missions so you can get protection from being killed. That does not make any sense, and this is what someone told me. And basically I'm saying the whole Kara thing, I do not like that, because it's like another Akatsuki. I mean, their clothes are the same. I mean, it's black and the insides are red, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same thing all over, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to see any rehashes of Naruto. I want something new, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming up with a video of things I do want to see in Boruto. Okay, that is what is most important to me, and I hope you guys, you know, the 1,000 or 3,000 people who are actually dedicated to my channel, I hope you guys actually watch that video and listen to my opinions, because I do make some really, really important points in that. So the whole Kara thing was really, really, you know, it was underwhelming. And the thing is, I cannot believe that there are thousands of videos out there of people saying, oh, this is the secret of Kara. It's like, yo, we've only had 1 chapter with these motherfuckers, and they were just talking about something they lost, and then there are thousands of people saying they know the secret of Kara. That doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, where'd you get the information from?
Where'd you get information from?
So now let's talk about Kara, okay? The only information we have is the numerals on the face and that they lost something. So this is how the chapter went. The entire 40-page chapter, or at least the majority of it, was like, oh shit, we lost something and we need to get it back because it is really expensive and someone lost it. So obviously we need to send someone to get that specific thing, and we are really pissed off because it costs, you know, more than an entire country, so we really need it back. That is pretty much what the entire chapter was. There was nothing to review, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be reviewing this chapter once my rant is done, okay? And I'm almost done, okay? So the next chapter, right? Next chapter, how is Ao alive? I don't know if you pronounce his name as Ao, but I'm gonna pronounce his name as Ao for now. So this guy apparently survived. That does not make sense. Literally, the Jubi sent a Bijudama towards the headquarters and it hit them right on the dot. You are telling me that this guy survived a nuke? Trust me, it's like if someone sends a nuke and it lands right in your face, do not tell me that you can escape this, because guess what? Your radius, right, it's not just going to vaporize you, it's going to vaporize a huge amount of people from a certain radius, and after that, the radiation after that is going to fuck you up, alright? This is a Bijudama, and a Bijudama causes explosions. It consists of heat, so it must be a nuke of some type of size, okay? And even if it is not a nuke, even if it does not operate with radiation, it should still cover a huge radius. This thing apparently wiped out entire continents. So you're telling me that someone launched something which destroys an entire continent within the blink of an eye and you escaped? Ao is not that fast, and it does not make sense how this guy is alive. End of discussion. It just does not make sense. The only way this guy could have escaped is if someone came there and used a dimensional jutsu to take him out of there before the whole thing happened. But if that was the case, then why did the other people not survive? Maybe they also survived, but then they are hiding just like Ao, because he said he never returned back to the Mist Village. And maybe, just maybe, the reason why Ao is still alive is because one of the Kara people must have saved him, and that is why he's working for them, because most likely he owes his life to them. So that is his way of repaying his debt, right? So maybe that is the reason why Ao is alive. Now, I like how Boruto developed in this chapter, because it shows that he is still, you know, gullible, because he's like, oh, I really like Ao, and I really like how as a person, he really, you know, talks about certain things that you know, don't contemplate in life or something like that. That is what he said, right? And I really like how Mitsuki convinced Boruto by, you know, just talking to him, and he was like, oh, okay, so you said boldly that you were gonna save Sarada, right? Or you're gonna, you know, guard her, but at the same time you are contradicting yourself by letting her go on a mission by herself. That is really contradictory to what you said. And Boruto's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm tripping, I need to do this. And that is why Boruto gets up, and then he says, I'm gonna do the mission. Now, the ninja tools, that is the next thing I'm gonna talk about. The ninja tools. I do not like the ninja tools. Do you know why? Because it is really dangerous. Guess what? These people were fighting each other, you know, before Kaguya even came. Kaguya had to come and end the war, and Hagoromo even had to try and end a war going on in his own era. That means humans are violent by nature. You know what I'm saying? And now Katasuke is working on ninja tools, which they are going to give to civilians. So it's basically, okay, cool, we are giving people guns, and you know, not everyone within the village is actually stable minded. So it's like, okay, cool, let me give this civilian a gun, let me give this civilian a gun. Well, in their world, it would be a ninja tool, right? So they're looking to use, they're looking to give these things to people to make sure they can help themselves, which is, to be honest with you, a bad call. You know what I'm saying? Because people by nature love conflict. Conflict is there. There's always going to be a difference. People are always going to see things from different perspectives. It's a fact. It's always going to be there. And this nigga's like, okay, cool, let's give all these people ninja tools. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's give them ninja tools. Let them, you know, instead of training very hard to attain something, which, you know, it's more worthy if you attain it with your own strength. No, let's give them ninja tools and shit, so, you know, they can start firing at each other, and even enemies can potentially get their hands on this, because Konoha still does have enemies. Just because the 5 great nations are now united does not mean all the other nations out there are not are on the same thing. They are not on the same page. Certain people are not on the same page. You know what I'm saying? There are other villages out there and other nations. It just happens that the 5 great nations are the 5 biggest ones on the entire planet. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I think overall that this chapter was good. You know, Sasuke was out there saying, you use the ninja tools in the wrong way. They are not bad. I'm thinking they are bad. This guy literally created or mimicked the Renegade's ability. Think about that. Think about that, my friend. Think about that. He replicated the Renegade's abilities. That is dangerous, okay? And if they can fully replicate the Renegade's abilities, there's no point in Sasuke having the Renegade, because guess what? Someone can just use these ninja tools and whoop Sasuke's ass. It is that simple. Think about that. So if you're done watching this, you can check out 6 things that I do not want to happen in the Boruto world, Kishiki's possible hidden Rinnegan, and lastly, check out why Uchiha Madara is actually the savior of the entire world, why he actually united the 5 great nations. And with that being said, I have nothing more to say, as I have, you know, talked about my opinion. With that being said, I am done, and bye.